Have you ever sat down to study and felt cheated by your own brain? Like you're working hard, but the results are thin. What if I told you there's a way to study that feels almost unfair? A system so effective, so surgical, it'll make your ordinary study sessions look like busy work. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact habits Harvard students use and why they feel like a secret. Stay with me. This isn't about memorizing flashcards for 12 hours. It's not about willpower or caffeine. It's about structure, biology, and tiny rituals that compound into massive learning power. I'll show you what to start doing today, in this order. No fluff, only what works. This first, the Harvard myth. People imagine Harvard students as superhuman, always brilliant, always effortless. The truth? The most successful students aren't naturally smarter. They've just optimized how they study, and that optimization is repeatable. Step 1. The 3-act study session. Harvard students don't open a book and hope for the best. They structure each session into 3 acts. Preview, practice, reflect. 1. Preview, 5 to 8 minutes. Skim the chapter, the lecture slides, or the paper. Read headers, bolded terms, the summary. Create a mental map. What are the big ideas? This primes your brain to notice important details later. 2. Practice, 30 to 45 minutes. This is active work, not passive reading. Do problems. Explain the concept out loud to an imaginary class. Use retrieval practice. Close the book and write down what you remember. Harvard students practice testing themselves, not rereading. 3. Reflect, 7 to 10 minutes. Summarize. What did you learn? Where are the gaps? Make a 3-point action list for the next session. This cements learning and sets the agenda. Do this cycle twice for a dense topic, once for lighter material. The magic is the intentional shift from preview to active practice to reflection. Step 2. Use spaced retrieval like a scalpel. Crucial fact: memory is not a muscle you pump. It's a map you revisit. Harvard students schedule reviews intentionally, not randomly. Here's the exact schedule. Day 0, initial learning, today. Day 1, quick retrieval, 5 to 10 minutes. Day 1, 3 to 4, deeper retrieval, 20 to 30 minutes. Day 7, consolidated review, 30 to 45 minutes. Day 14 to 21, spaced recall to long-term storage. You can set this in any study app or calendar. The point? You force recall before forgetting happens. That's how knowledge becomes permanent. Step 3. The Harvard note trick. Make your notes work for you, not the other way around. Most students take notes like they're transcribing a lecture. Harvard students take notes like they're planting seeds. Use this simple structure for every page or slide. Title/question, top. 3 core ideas, left column. 1 practical example or application, right column. 1 sentence summary at the bottom. The title turns notes into search queries. The 3 core ideas are retrieval prompts. The example makes abstract ideas concrete. The 1-sentence summary converts complexity into a memory hook. That's how lectures turn into usable knowledge. Step 4. Leverage the science of focus. Ultradian rhythms and deliberate breaks. Harvard students don't grind endlessly. They respect brain cycles. The human brain works in approximately 90 to 120-minute ultradian cycles, with focus peaking and falling. Use 45 to 52-minute focused blocks, followed by 12 to 15-minute active breaks. Not scrolling, active breaks. Walk, stretch, hydrate, or do a tiny creative task. Set a timer. Work until it rings. Then deliberately shift your attention. Repeat. This schedule maximizes attention and reduces fatigue. Step 5. The Explain to a Stranger test. After each study session, teach what you learned to someone imaginary or a real friend. If you can explain without notes and make it feel simple, you own the material. Harvard students do this by forming study groups where each member must teach a section. Try this. Record yourself explaining a concept for 90 seconds. If you use jargon without clarifying it, you haven't learned it. Clarifying is where true mastery happens. Step 6. Sleep like exam day is sacred. Here's a fact few students appreciate. Sleep consolidates memory. Slow-wave sleep and REM both play roles in solidifying what you practiced. Pulling all-nighters may add hours of study, but steals memory consolidation. Harvard students defend sleep. They schedule study around sleep, not the other way. Aim for consistent sleep. Same bedtime, same wake time. After a heavy study day, prioritize a full 90-minute REM cycle. You'll wake up more fluent in the material. The Step 7. The environment hack. Sculpted for attention. Harvard study spaces are intentional. Neutral background, minimal visual clutter, single task tools. Use a dedicated study spot. Remove the phone or put it in airplane mode in another room. If you must keep it nearby, lock apps with a distraction timer. Small extras. Noise-canceling headphones with white noise or a consistent, low-volume focus playlist. A clean desk signals your brain that it's time to work. Step 8. The feedback loop. Practice tests, office hours, and brutal honesty. Top students seek feedback early and often. They do practice exams under test conditions. They ask tough questions in office hours, and they welcome corrections. Feedback shortens the learning loop. You find mistakes faster and correct them before they fossilize. Set up weekly micro-tests, 20-minute problems graded by a rubric. Then correct, review, and repeat. Step 9. Identity. Act like a scholar, not a student cramming for a grade. This is subtle but powerful. Harvard students often adopt an identity. I am a thinker, a solver, a reader. When you hold that identity, your habits align. You read with curiosity, not obligation. You schedule learning as a daily ritual, not a panic. Write one line. I study like someone who wants to understand, not just pass. Put it on your desk. Step 10. The illegal edge. Spaced variation and deliberate difficulty. Here's the part that feels illegal. Harvard students introduce desirable difficulty. They vary formats, switch contexts, and force retrieval under challenge. Instead of rereading the same chapter, they mix problem types, use different textbooks, and study in different places. This prevents the brain from learning to perform only in one context. Make your practice 30 to 50% harder than what you'll face in the test. Make it awkward. That difficulty creates durable learning, the kind of knowledge you can apply, not just repeat. A one-day blueprint you can use today. Exact schedule, 8 o'clock to 8:10. Preview, skim, set questions. 8:10 to 9 o'clock. Deep practice, active problems. 9 o'clock to 9:15. Active break, walk, notes. 9:15 to 10 o'clock. Practice again. Teach, record yourself. 10 o'clock to 10:15. Reflect, summarize plus next action. Sleep protected. Review scheduled on day 1 and day 3. This is not a full day. It's a surgical approach. Do this for 3 to 4 weeks and your baseline retention will jump. Now, the science behind why this works. In plain terms, retrieval practice strengthens neural pathways. Every time you recall, you increase synaptic efficiency. Spacing allows synapses to consolidate and avoid interference. Difficulty forces more robust encoding. More cortical networks are recruited. Sleep stabilizes memory traces. In short, your brain learns best when challenged, rested, and rehearsed. You want a promise? Try this 7-day experiment. Day 1, pick one subject, watch no videos. Just do active recall for 45 minutes. Day 2, add spaced repetition cards. Day 3, teach what you learned to your phone camera. Day 4, switch locations. Day 5, revisit your weakest topic only. Day 6, take a blank sheet and rebuild every idea from memory. Day 7, sleep early, no caffeine, and review once more in the morning. You'll feel your recall tighten like a muscle. You'll remember things without effort, and your focus will double because your brain now expects the challenge. Here's the secret Harvard never taught explicitly. They don't just study harder, they study in alignment with how memory wants to work. When you understand that, you stop chasing motivation and start creating systems that do the heavy lifting for you. Motivation fades, willpower drains, but systems stay. And if you follow this blueprint for 21 days, you won't recognize your own mind. Your focus will sharpen, your distractions will lose their grip, and you'll finally stop feeling behind because you'll be operating like someone who owns their attention, not someone begging it to come back. So here's your real assignment. Tonight, pick one topic. Tomorrow, don't study it. Test yourself on it. Then come back, fix the gaps, and repeat. That's how Harvard students actually learn. That's how you rewire your brain to love studying again. Not because you forced it, but because you finally understood how to make your mind fall in love with mastery. And when the world scrolls, you'll still be building. While they chase another rush of dopamine, you'll be chasing depth. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Because real power is not in doing more, it's in remembering better. And silence the noise, pick up your notes, and train your mind to love the climb.